4K?
Okay.
So now it's going to be high definition. All right. So welcome to episode 3 in the Trench podcast with myself, Brian Wiggins, and my beautiful wife, Nara Wiggins. And before we get this episode started, this one's going to be a good one. You're going to want to pay attention. Let's first talk about who we are, right?
Yeah.
Don't you think that's important? So I'm a Marine, 3 combat deployments, and I was a combat instructor for 6 training cycles. I served honorably. And not only that, but I was a top level Marine. I can honestly say that. I went hard. Anybody knows me knows that I went hard. I was a top performer in everything I did. I was an honor graduate in many courses. And I married a beautiful woman. And I think a lot of guys cannot say that, right?
Yes.
A lot of guys cannot say that. Not only did I marry a beautiful, stunning, gorgeous woman, she's smart. You've been with me along the side this whole thing, raising our child. Our child is a next level child, and it's not because of me. Maybe a little bit.
A little bit.
But mainly you.
That's right.
So, I mean, yeah, you're an awesome mom. You are a baddie, as they would say. You are intimidating to work out with. I can honestly say that as a Marine. Can you believe it? That I don't want to work out with my wife. She goes way too hard. And
That's
I do.
Right.
But I do it, don't I?
Go hard or go home.
Boy, that's how she is. Yesterday, she pulled up to the gym, and I was like, I already saw where it was going. I wanted nothing to do with it. But that's who I am.
Okay.
And then we are also entrepreneurs.
Yeah,
so we are also in the business making money.
Yep.
So if you're a person out here watching this video, it's like, first of all, I think you have to realize who you are, the viewer, right? It's like, are you this person? And we don't want to hear excuses. We don't want to hear the reason why you didn't join the military, or you didn't do infantry, or you didn't do multiple combat deployments, and you didn't have a black belt, and you didn't marry a beautiful woman. We just want you to realize that you didn't.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, sure.
It's like, so what are you going to do?
What have you done? Well, because, okay, at the end of the day, if you didn't join the Marines, you still could win in life. What did you do to make sure you're winning?
Yeah, actually, that's it. So you answer that question.
Because I wasn't a Marine.
Yeah, but
I'm not a
dude,
Marine.
so let's talk about that for a second, too, about you.
I'm
right?
not a Marine.
Let's talk about you,
Could've
though.
been.
So you're a civilian. But what did you do?
I am a civilian. I hate that term.
Civilian.
I hate when you call me civilian because
Downgrade.
I know you despise civilians.
Who else do I
So
despise?
Employees.
Employees and liberals.
Yes.
In this house, it is a curse. But I'm going to talk about my wife for a second. First of all, the reason why I love her to death, and the reason why I was so attracted to you, was because I felt like you were a little bit of me. I'm like, there's something about this chick.
A little bit gangster.
Gangster, a little bit. She's more gangster than me. But she's an immigrant from Brazil, and no excuses. You had literally no excuses.
No excuses.
You did competitive dance, right? Ballet in Brazil, which, I mean, we got to talk about that just for a second. We would realize that ballet in Brazil is another level.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Evelyn was like shaking. She's like, I've not done ballet like this.
It's incredible. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you're an immigrant and you grew up in Brazil, which you call it a third world country. Why do you call it a third world country?
Because other people call it that. I don't call that.
I don't think it is.
It's called an undeveloped third world country. I don't know. I don't know.
Listen,
why.
I've been to a third world. I've been to a third world country,
Do
Afghanistan.
people still call Brazil that? I don't know. It's just a term that I grew up.
But I'm like, is it like Afghanistan, Iraq? That's third world
I
country.
saw the way you grew up, Brian. It's like we were rich. And you're in America. So.
When I met Nara, I was like, oh, this is a poor girl from Brazil, and I go to Brazil, and her dad's on top of a mountain. He's on top, tippy top. And he has 3 homes. He's had a home that he built his maids, that they've been there for 30 years, making his bed every morning for 30 years. And I'm like, I'm poor.
Yes. So I am Brazilian. I grew up in Brazil, and I've been in America for almost 20 years now. Came here on my own, went to college. I did a lot of stuff on my own. I think my life has been nothing but an adventure. I've been a person who haven't settled down for anything. I go hard in everything that I do. I want to do everything in excellence. I can tell you that I pour my heart out into becoming the best mom that I could be, and I'm going to tell you I'm proud. It's like, I don't think it took me a while to admit this, but I'm a pretty good mom, and I'm happy with the product that I've had is my daughter. And it took everything out of me to do that. And I've devoted myself to motherhood. Like I've never devoted to anything in my life before. And I see the product of it. And I've been by your side, building business, doing everything with you, being in the trenches with you. So yeah, I'm an entrepreneur, speak multiple languages. What else? I've done so much with my life. Yeah, I was a dancer growing up. I danced as well. And yeah, it's just, I've done a lot of different things. I put myself out of my comfort zone many times. And it's been amazing. Yeah.
Well, I think that you're a great mom, and I don't think you're a pretty good mom. I think that there's, you don't have to be humble here. It's like everybody can attest that you're a great mom. Evelyn adores you. Evelyn loves you. She's like your best friend. I see her. She's like, the person that she goes to with everything.
Yeah.
I think you've won that. I think you earned it. You're a great wife. But just to go back a little bit, it's like, I don't think people can really appreciate or even understand you coming to America, how hard that was. Away from your family.
That's why sometimes I'll meet people in America and they annoy me. I'll meet guys who think that they're all that in a bag of chips. And I'm like, you haven't done anything with your life. I've done more than you.
Yeah.
How many times have I met? I'm like, dude, you are a loser.
Yeah.
You are a loser. I'm like, it bothered me because I'm like, here I am from Brazil. You think you're better than me because you're an American and you are a loser. And I am a Brazilian who has done way more better things in life than you. I've conquered way more goals than you. I know more than you. I am more like, it gets annoying for immigrants. If you're listening to me out there, you have to talk to these people who are very ignorant, haven't tried anything in their life, have not taken any risk, and they think they're better than you. And you're like, oh boy.
It's like, look at you, look at
it's
me.
Annoying.
Look at you, look at me. That's kind of how I feel with you. It's like, look at you, look at me. But you got a pot belly. Like you have excuses of why your marriage is not thriving, right?
Yeah, but you haven't tried anything.
Nothing.
Yeah.
So this podcast is, you've tried poor. Why don't you try being rich? And it's like, and then my question, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And have you really tried rich? Have you tried it? It's like, well, money's the root of all evil. Well,
how do you know?
How do you know that? Have you made $150,000 in a month?
In a day?
In a day?
In an hour?
In an hour? I like that. I like where you're going with this.
Yeah. There's people making $1 million in 1 hour. So you were saying to me, money cannot buy happiness. How do you know? You got no money.
You got no money.
Why don't you give it a try? Why don't you like, you know what? I'm just going to try to see if your money can buy happiness so I can have a choice. And I can choose, you know what? Money did not buy me happiness. I'm going to go back to being poor. But you choose that. Yeah. Instead of, this is the only hand that has been dealt. Like, that's the only option you got. It's so easy to say, like, money doesn't have happiness. Like, you're broke.
No, it's like, let's talk about that. It's like you struggle to pay your dance bill. You struggle to pay your bills. You can't go anywhere. You can't go on vacation. If you go on vacation, you're worried about coming back. Then you have to work really hard. So how's that going for you?
Is it going well? You love it?
Yeah, do you love it? I mean, do you love that you have to tell your kids no, and you have to constantly be like, I can't afford that? It's like, and how much of a man do you feel? Like, no, I can't afford that. Oh, I can't afford that. I can't afford that. All these excuses. Well, I wanted to be a Marine, but blah, 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 blah. I wanted to be rich, but blah, blah, blah. I can't afford this. I can't afford that. How's that doing for you?
Yeah. Because that was a pivoted moment in our lives where we realized that we needed to change, because we realized it was not going well for us. And we're like, you know what? I hate poverty.
Yeah.
I've experienced poverty. Poverty sucks. There's nothing good about poverty.
And I think that me and you experience a level of poverty that maybe most don't. But I wonder if we should get into that. I think that me and you have experienced poor to the point where it's like these people are so comfortable with their employee paycheck, with their comfortability of having enough to barely get by. It's like you haven't hit a point where you literally had nothing.
Nothing. Yeah. We've been points that we like, especially not relying on a job. We've had to put major sacrifices in. Like, I saw a video from this guy. It was so funny. He's like, you don't understand what it's like to be broke as an entrepreneur. Because he was saying, when you are broke as in paycheck, you broke now, but Friday you got a paycheck coming. So you just got to hold on for another week or so. When you're trying to become an entrepreneur, there's nothing coming. There's no paycheck coming. Nobody's coming to rescue you. You better make it happen. Yeah. You better figure out where that's coming from. And our journey, when we started, it was like that.
Well, let's take it back a step. When I married Nara, you guys wouldn't believe this, and I was just watching our wedding video yesterday. You were gorgeous. Like, your day of your wedding, man, it was like you were breathtaking. Let's be honest. This girl was a 10, right? And I'm sitting there looking at me. I was a geek. Like, I looked like a geek. I was skinny. I was without money. I don't even know what to say. I was just really good at sales, right? And I manned up.
Close the deal.
I closed the deal, and that's why I got here. But I don't know if you remember, but I took a vow of poverty. Like, we're going to serve God, we're going to serve ministry, and God's going to provide. And what God showed me through that whole process was He had so much more for me. Then you never want to be at the mercy of table scraps. And I don't, for a lot of you ministers out there who are going to watch this video, that's kind of how you set up your ministry, is that you're at the leverage of people. Never do that. None of the disciples did that. Jesus was dependent on God. Let's be honest. I mean, He fed the multitude. He filled up Peter's boat with fish. We can go on and on. But I think I realized I took a vow of poverty, and that was the worst thing I could have ever done.
And I honestly can say that I took a vow of poverty too, Brian, because I wanted to be grateful for everything that I got. So you married a wife who was just trying to be grateful with little. You know what? At the end of the day, this is okay. I'm just going to be grateful that at least I have a bed to sleep in. I at least have this clothes. And at least, my husband is trying. And I started accepting everything. And I grew up in this kind of scenario in Brazil. You grow up to just be grateful. At the end of the day, you're alive. Isn't that a beautiful thing that you're alive and you're not in a hospital bed? It's like, what if we were not happy with that? Like, that should not be good enough. Obviously, there's a level of gratitude that everybody should have throughout their whole life. But it's the slippery road, because you realize before you're just so accustomed to the bare minimum and you're just accepting table scraps. And you realize that you have made a vow to poverty, and poverty is from the devil, which you realize you made a vow with the devil, because our God is an abundant guy. He never wanted us to make a vow to poverty, and it's evil. Like, all kinds of evil things that we see in the world. And I'm not talking about the elites, because there's a level with the elites. Outside of the elites, there's so much evil in the world that happens because these people are in poverty. Crime, violence, killing, murdering, abusing. And it's sad. And we had to come to a point in our life that we're like, wait a minute, that's not what we don't want this life for us. We need to
God
change.
has more for us.
We realize that God is like, remember when God was like, oh, Brian, you just, here we are in Brazil and we're doing ministry, and you guys, and you were praying, we were both praying to God. It's like, God, I pray that somebody, give us money for gas. We don't even have money to put gas in our car. And God was like, this is such a little faith. God spoke with you. He's like, you are praying me to put gas in your car?
I'll do it.
I'll do it. And he did it.
I'll send someone to give you fuel if that's what you want. And God did it supernaturally. So those of you out there who are super faith based, God provided us in supernatural ways. And God chewed me out, chewed my ass. Let's be honest. This is In the Trench podcast. God chewed my ass. He pulled me aside like a man and said, this ain't it. Look at your family. This is on you. And I think that at least I took it, right?
Yeah, you took it. And it's okay, because God is a good God. He was treating you as a father. He was showing you like a father would do to his child. He would be like, son, let me teach you some things. Like, if you want this, I'll give it to you. But son, wake up.
And I want to go into this, and you can kind of bounce off of it if you feel it, or we'll just move on with it. But Matthew 6, God spoke to me with Matthew 6, and He said, this is talking about Andrew Tate. For those of you who don't know who Andrew Tate is, this is going to be so amazing.
Everybody knows who Andrew Tate is.
A lot of people don't, isn't that something?
No, a lot of people know. If you don't, you're lying.
They're lying.
Andrew
Tate's a guy. He said recently has 20.
Actually, can I stop for a second? It's crazy because people in Brazil didn't know who Andrew Tate was.
They do.
That was weird to me. No. I don't know if they do.
Okay.
I think there was a lot of restrictions with content being sent out because I'm like, everybody in America knows who Andrew Tate is. And I was asking Brazil, nobody knew. I'm like, that's interesting. Because we got a bunch of soft people in Brazil.
Well, to go back to Matthew 6, God, I was looking at it, it says, money's the root of all evil, all these things. Don't store up things that like materialistic things that rust, rot, all this stuff. And to go on that point, it's important that maybe you don't understand as a woman, and I don't know what women do. Maybe you could enlighten the audience. But for men, you go to men's house that are poor, they always show you this shit, like a 4-wheeler, side-by-side, dirt bike, all their gun collection, and they're poor. They're paycheck to paycheck. This is what God's actually talking about. It's like the people that are employees that are buying stupid shit, right? RVs, 4-wheelers, and they're paycheck to paycheck. And what do they not have? They don't have the skill to build a business, to do marketing, to recruit, to be master leaders. They don't have those skills, but they're employees with a good paycheck and they're buying stupid shit. You see it all the time. They're going on these stupid vacations that are meaningless. They're never going to make money on that vacation. Isn't it funny that when me and you go on a vacation, we make money? I wonder if the audience can even understand that. Like, what do you mean? And we're not going to get into that. But what God was telling me was it's Andrew Tate. That Bible verse was all about Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate built so many skill sets that he will never be broke, that he can go out and buy 29 supercars and it means nothing. He's somebody who doesn't value materialistic things. You'll see on a podcast, I wish we had clips of him, where he's like, he said this, he said the bad thing about being rich is that you end up buying 29 supercars, living in a mansion, having all this like maids and all these employees, and it means nothing. But actually what that Bible verse was saying, that's how you should view money. Your materialistic stuff should not matter. It should matter that your family's taken care of, that you guys are having fun, that you guys are building business, that you guys are pouring into the economy, that you're changing people's lives. This is what Matthew 6 was talking about. It was saying, don't leave this crap behind that you so highly prize. Where Andrew Tate's like, I don't give a damn about any of the cars I have.
And I have lots of it.
And I have lots of them. And I just bought 5 more. But it was the skill set. So what did Andrew Tate, why did God bring up Andrew Tate? Because he's a man who's given one life, and he took that one life and he made the best of it. That's what it was talking about.
Yeah.
So that's our theme of this podcast is, why don't you try being rich? Why don't you try to build your skill set? Because you know what's funny is nobody can be rich unless they become better.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
A tree cannot bear fruit. Like you cannot have an apple tree bear an orange fruit. Do you understand? So that's why so many people are out there. They may say with their words certain things. They may try really hard to just practice and be this person, but everybody can sense the energy and the vibe around you. So if you're not truly doing what it takes to internally and truly become this person, you're not going to bear those fruits. And the most important thing is that phase where you're building the roots and you're going down like a tree. If you think about a tree, it's going down and it's bearing, roots. It's having roots before it can bear fruits. Yeah. That process is very painful. It will take everything out of you, but it's truly you letting go of the old version that you used to be, letting go of the old mindsets, the limitations that you used to have, and allowing yourself to become a brand new person. I can't stand people like, I was born this way and I'm going to finish this way and it's my personality. It's like, nobody cares. It's like, when are you going to become a better person? Because this walk is about evolution. It's about you becoming the version that God created you to be, and it's striving to get there. And that's what it takes. You have to become a better person. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the becoming. I think that's what it's like. You want to know why you're not trying to be rich on this podcast is because you're scared to become. You're scared to become better, to have higher skills, to invest. Like how much do you have to invest, right? Money. The thing that you prize the most. It's funny that you're so broke, right? And you have all these excuses, but you will never invest money into anything. Think about that. You'll go buy your RV, right? You'll go spend $32,000 on an RV, but you won't spend $32,000 on education. I'm not talking about college where you learn nothing.
Yeah.
It's like go to Andrew Tate. He has a course. Buy his course. Learn the skills that he has.
How much money have you invested into learning the knowledge that successful people have acquired and can teach you? Like, do you have mentors? Yeah. Have you purchased courses? How many books have you read this year? How much time are you spending on YouTube or podcasting, listening to people who are successful and are telling you the roadmap? And then how much time are you spending applying the skills that you have learned and putting into action where people are telling you to put into action? How much time are you spending on the gym? Have you spent a lot of money on yourself? Have you, taken the supplements that you need? Everything into investing on you? Go ahead, Brian.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah.
No, invest on you.
Finish your thought. Investing on you. Yeah.
Well, what I was going to say is something I think is so important, guys. Nara is a very disciplined person. And I think what she's touching on, I wanted to just elaborate on. So you invested, I guess, $2,500 probably more like $4,000 on learning social media in the beginning, right? We went to
In the
Brazil.
very beginning.
We went to Brazil. You bought we spent about
No, actually, we spent a lot more before even going to Brazil. I don't know.
just talking about social media. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Like not all the business coaching and all that stuff, but we spent, let's say, $4,000 on social media. Now you didn't take that course and have a bunch of excuses. You actually posted for a year straight, 5 to 7 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
So what I was going to say is the tree bears fruit. So a lot of you out there, because I was already, when you were talking, I was hearing all the objections. Well, I bought this course and it didn't do it for me. And I tried social media. I posted for 3 months and then I gave up. It's like the tree bears fruit.
Mm-hmm.
So what it is that you did was that you went down and you developed your roots, and then as a product, the fruit was there while you were growing on social media.
Mm-hmm. And I was becoming way more skilled. I understood social media better. I was becoming a better communicator. I understood even like where I wanted to take my brand, where I wasn't just giving people what they wanted, because I can make videos go viral every day. And I realized I don't want them like that. That's not how I want to get known. So I also started understanding the power of branding myself for the future, my future
that
self.
Was just so you guys know, that was the second level of coaching that you bought. You ended up investing a whole lot more money into branding. Mm-hmm. And now you're talking about how you learned social media. You were hitting 6 million accounts per month. You had 11,000% engagement rate, which was through the roof, but you were realizing that wasn't enough. So instead of having excuses, you invested more. Isn't that something? Mm-hmm. You invested more and then you learned branding. So she bought a course where she got next level coaching and they taught you how to brand. Mm-hmm. And then you actually elevated your entire social platform is what you ended up doing.
Yeah, because I'm looking for longevity. I'm looking for purpose, and I'm looking to build a brand that will be here in 50 years. Hopefully 50 years. No, that's a lot. That won't be a life. 30 years? I don't know how many years, but I expect to be creating a brand that is so much more than just getting viral social media and giving people what they wanted. And I actually cannot wait to invest more. Like I get excited because every time that I educate myself, that I'm listening to coaches, that I'm listening to mentors, that I'm learning a new skill set, I become a person like, for example, we are now using the skill sets that I have learned, and I'm leading a marketing team with our business that is taking our business, which is a construction business, service-based business, to the next level on social media. And I'm realizing, this is so easy for me and our team to do.
You make it look easy.
Yeah. And I don't know. I lost my train of thought. Sorry.
No, you're taking our service-based company to new heights with the marketing team.
Yeah. Exactly. Based on everything that I've learned. And I have a team now that I manage, our social media team, so I can guide them to do the things that I have learned, which is absolutely incredible. Like back in the day, I would want to hire a social media, agency that knows how to do everything. I realized that I know so much more than an agency, and I can hire people that are specific, have specific skills in certain areas, but I'm guiding them on what to do because I know now what works. So I became a leader into that. And it's been amazing.
So it's just interesting, like before you took on that whole skill set, right? You're talking about becoming a tree, because that's what you did. You became, and then you implemented with no excuses. I mean, you just didn't stop. I never saw you stop. It was incredible.
I'm very disciplined, guys. Like, it's like, I don't need motivation. How many times have you had to motivate me to work?
Honestly, I can count on my hands.
Yeah, you probably can. How many times have you had to motivate me to go to the gym?
I can count on my hands.
To post on social media?
Yeah.
To take care of Evelyn?
No, you get up and you get going.
Yeah.
But think about that. You've lived your whole life with no excuses.
I don't have excuses.
Just so you know, I know you have so many excuses.
Yeah.
You could have,
I'm
telling you,
reasons.
Like in 6 seconds, you could find a reason to do half of what you're doing. But I never seen you do that. Mm-hmm. You just get up and you get going.
And how many times do I get to get supervised on the things that I'm supposed to do?
You have no supervision.
How many times do you have to nudge me and like, hey, Nara, you forgot to do that?
I can count on my hands.
So it's like, come on, guys. It's like at the end of the day, you got to become that person.
You have to become.
And I started becoming that person when I was really young, as a child. So I see that person in Evelyn. Evelyn is that person today, and I love it because I'm like, I know you're going to go far in life. And I understand if you're not that as a child, but no excuses. You can become that person now. That's what I'm saying, that I get so tired when I come across people that have so many excuses. I don't care about your excuses. Oh, I'm not good at this. It's like, do you think I was good at that? Like I was telling Evelyn. Evelyn's like, Mom, you made this video And I could tell, it was so funny. She's like, I could tell that you're reading from ChatGPT on your voiceover because the way you pronounce this word was incorrect. So I was supposed to say simply, and I said simply, and I'm like, you were correct. I had my video voiceover. ChatGPT helped me do that. And I said, guess what, Evelyn? I don't care. You know how many people out there who speak perfect English? Guess what? They are Americans. They live in this amazing country and they have excuses. And here I am, a woman, an immigrant, owner of a service-based business, being on social media, multiple accounts, managing a team, hiring people, leading people. And I speak with an accent and I speak wrong and I don't care.
Love it.
I don't care. I'm like, oh yeah, people will know I have an accent and I speak like this and I don't care. And I'm like, stop with the excuses. It's like, it's so, yeah, I think people need to realize that scarcity doesn't care about what you have or you don't have. It will come at you and it will take the soul out of you. It will take your marriage. It will take your kids. It will take everything that you have. Poverty is evil.
And some.
So you have to come with such an extreme hate, violence against poverty that you're like, oh, you're not taking me down.
I will invest and I will implement and I will invest again and I will implement and I will invest again and I will implement until I made it.
And I'm not giving up.
And it's like that relentlessness and grit is what Matthew 6 was talking about.
Because I want to experience, Brian, what it's like to have everything that you want and then not be happy.
Yeah, not be happy.
I'm not happy.
But, and the truth is and the truth is too, we live in let's be a reality. We live in a beautiful home right now, the most beautiful home we've ever lived in. We drive 2 cars that we can't even understand. Like we're living a life right now that me and you can't even comprehend.
Like when we first got married, I mean, we would have dreamed of this.
And we're living it and we don't care. We want more.
Because I know God has more for me. I'm like,
and that's
way
right there.
More.
No, that what you just said is that God has more. And you know what I just realized? He wants to show off the other things. You know, for you guys out there who don't understand this, like let's talk about this. Jesus is the husband, let's say, of the church, right? He's the groom of the bride, right? Do you think that there's a guy, like, do you think I have a limit on what I want to give you?
No.
I don't think I do. I think that I want to give you a bigger ring. I want to give you a bigger life. I want to give Evelyn a bigger life. Doesn't everybody realize that that's God? That God doesn't want to give us sloppy seconds. So we have this big, beautiful home and God looks down on us. We worked our ass off to get here. We implemented the Bible, which was become better, right? And God's like, I have so much more for you. And I'm excited to give it.
And guess what? When we show off, God is showing off through us because we are Christians, we're believers. We walk with this boldness like we are of the kingdom of God. So the more that we tap into the abundance, the more God can show off through us. So the difference is that you're looking at these people who are like, I'm already fulfilled. I have God inside of me. I have the Holy Spirit. I ain't trying to go out there, do drugs and do things that are illegal and be with multiple men. I'm trying to do none of that. I've found my true joy and happiness through Christ. And you cannot take that away from me. It's not going to go away when I have money. It's not going to go away when I'm broke. It doesn't matter. I've loved God through it. And God is Jesus is my Lord and Savior. But so when I am in that place with God, like I want to see all the things that God wants to show off through me and how much, and even like this, people don't understand is how many people are me and you able to help the healthier and more wealthy we become. Pay attention to this. Our families, our relatives, our employees, our business, we're hiring more people. How many people take that, abundance of overflow that is coming through us? So many other people, I want to do more of that. Like right now I realize, when we first were entrepreneurs, we call entrepreneurs, we were never entrepreneurs in the beginning, where we're hustlers, self-employed. We're like, like back in the day, remember people are like, I'm doing Uber. I'm an entrepreneur. It's like Uber is not an entrepreneurship.
At all. Yeah.
You're a
it's laughable now, but
you're a 1099. And the guy who built and created Uber is an entrepreneur. But it was crazy to see that journey from like, which is incredible. It's the first step you take. You don't have a job. It's amazing. You got to start figuring things out on your own. And it starts with little things. You're doing things on the side, you're self-employed, you have your own little thing, side hustle, and you start that and it's amazing. But when you get to the point that your work is providing to families upon families upon families, it's a big deal. And I want to do that more.
Mhm.
I want to have 400 employees,
Mhm.
1,000 employees,
Mhm.
because now the work, it's like, to know that people are sitting on the table and going, and doing amazing things with their kids and pouring into their family because of the work that we're putting together.
100%.
That's incredible. I
It's
want to help
incredible.
I want to give my mom a new home. You want to give your mom a new home. Like, so the more that we get blessed, the more that other people can get blessed and get touched by God's abundance, God's love.
Like every single person benefits from us becoming better.
Exactly.
And nobody benefits from you staying the same. Not even yourself.
Nobody benefits by you being broke and being comfortable in a situation you're in and creating excuses. You know what? I'm just a grateful guy, man. It's like, what about you not be grateful? Like, so we were having a conversation with Steven, our operations guy, and I said, can you guys stop being humble? I was bringing that up to you. Like, why are you so humble? And I said that in the nicest way. Steven is nice. And he's like, you are right. And I said, I don't think a man should be humble.
No, I think that what you need to like what we need to highlight on is that being humble is actually going hard. That's what it is. Like when I submit to God by being humble, right? Because I'm submitting to God's mission. Humble to God.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look humble to the world. Because the world, I'm going to tell you guys this. So I got out of the Marine Corps. 3 combat deployments, black belt Marine Corps martial arts black belt, honorably discharged, multiple honor rewards. Okay, I was top of my class, and I was top of my class in almost everything. Right, when I was a combat instructor, we were going through ITB. I was a corporal, which everybody there was like 15 deployment sergeant. I was a corporal, right? And then we did a run, and I'm finishing first through the mountains, and a lot of those guys were spec op guys. So what I'm saying is I was going hard, and I was training people. I did a lot of spec ops training too. And then I get out of the Marine Corps and I was living with my sister at the time because I, went through a divorce and all that stuff. And I had all my rewards on the wall. I was bragging about what God did through me. And what's the first thing the civilian population wants to do? They want to downplay you.
Mm-hmm.
So what you guys don't realize, men out there who are freaking badass and you want to do well, is that the world wants you to shut up and be an entrepreneur and do what you're told and go get a more.
You mean?
The world wants you to stay down. They want to keep you down. They don't want you to rise up. But when you rise up and you become a provider for your family and you become a badass entrepreneur and you're a business owner of multiple businesses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now you are something that what God would consider humble.
Mm-hmm.
Now, isn't that something?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you submitted to God's mission. God's mission on this earth is for his sons and daughters to stand up and dominate.
It's 100% true. And I think if you were to sit here on this podcast and you're listening, what is God's mission for you? Like Moses, right? He was a leader of leaders. All these people, King David, all of them were leaders. Peter, when he was a disciple, he came to somebody who was robbing the church and he said, die. He said, die right at the footsteps. What kind of cockiness do you have that? Die.
And now, this is such a great reminder. It's just, I'm realizing this more and more because even myself, like the first time that I experienced this, it's when I left Brazil. Think about this. I'm the first person in my family to ever leave Brazil. I mean,
that's true.
My family members, they've stayed in the same city forever. My sisters, my brothers, all of that. And here I am because I had ambition. I knew God had more in store for me and I wanted to go after it. I'm like, you get one life to live. So I come to America, I stay here. And I remember going back to Brazil and people had a hard time with me. My family members, my friends are like, why are you acting this way? Why are you acting like you think you're American? You're acting a little bit American. You know what they saw in me? They saw in me that I was a new person who had to go through so much hard stuff in America. I had to do so many things on my own. Nobody was cuddling me. I had to find a place to live. I had to pay my own bills. I paid for my own college. I paid for everything. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to come out here and I'm going to have a little cockiness because I've done something that none of you guys have had the courage to do. And it was hard for people. And it's like, you know what? And at first I was trying to be like, okay, I guess, let me fit in. And then years after years, every time I would go to Brazil, I would have that sense until I was like, you know what? Screw it. Yeah, I am better than you. I've done more stuff with my life than you would ever do. You were in the same, I come come back here, 20 years later, you're living the same life, doing the same things. So I'm sorry. Yeah, there's a little bit of cockiness in me. And I just finally get to the point that I had enough, because what people like, you might be listening to this. I am a really nice person. Like this, I don't walk into rooms like I own the place. No. I don't try to put people down. No. I'm actually the extremely nice person.
Yes.
Until I realized that, wait a minute, if somebody's trying to downplay me, or somebody's trying to make sure that I stand out, then it comes out, because I'm like, I'm sorry, let me reintroduce myself here. And it comes from a place, man, that I have gone through hell to get here. And I actually did a lot of amazing things. Like coming from Brazil, I didn't even know English. So I came to America and I graduated with honors from a university 6 years later. That's not a big deal. And I'm not for college and all of that today. My mind has changed. But I did it. I woke up every day and I did it.
And I think I could go on and on, but
something that most people wouldn't even do, because you're not disciplined enough to wake up and every day. You're not disciplined enough to even learn a different language. I am sorry. Make fun of my accent. You don't have discipline enough to read one book, learn a different language, and do nothing. So you think I'm gonna get to your level? I'm gonna be like, I am sorry. It's like that clip from the lady that I don't know if you've seen. She's like, how are you today? She's like, I'm successful. How are you?
Yes.
And it's like, because you know what? It's been hell, and here I am.
And I want to touch on something, and I want you to kind of elaborate on how you feel about this. So what I did was the opposite of what you did. I got out of the military, and I was not to mention, I didn't even talk about how I had a successful solar company out in California. We had 200 sales reps. I actually submitted to that. I became less, and you got the product of that less person. So you married a very high caliber, high, like I was a go-getter, and I was extremely cocky before I got out of the Marine Corps. And I was a little bit cocky when I got out. It was the divorce that set me back. But I listened to, you know how you said your family was like, hey, do you think you're better? Mm-hmm. I listened to that voice, and I downplayed myself, and I tried to fit in, and I tried to be like, oh, we're equals. Like, you know, the friends I had back then. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to be like, oh, I relate with you, even though it was completely unrelatable. So how, like when you first married me, and I want you to kind of talk about this, that person versus the person who came out of the shell.
So much better. You're way too humble. I was like, stop. It was almost like this. So I didn't know Brian when he was in the Marines, and I didn't know anything about the Marines before I met him. I know about the military in the USA. I didn't know the difference. I barely knew anything. So I meet this guy, and I'm learning about the Marines, and you talking about, and he would tell me, I'm training privates. I'm like, I don't see it. And can I be honest with you? I'm like, I don't see it.
Yeah.
I'm like, the Marines, like, and then I would watch a video. I'm like, what happened? And obviously you went through a lot before I met you. Yeah. And that was a reason why you were the way you were. And you started getting out of the shell and realizing who you were, and that people were downplaying you, that you were also downplaying yourself and all of that. And you became such a better person. I'm like, okay, that's the guy. And obviously I knew that was inside of you. That's why I married you. But it needed to come out, and you needed to go back to the person. And I bet that so many guys experience this getting out into the civilian world too, especially as a Marine. Like Marines, you are unrelatable. Yeah. And the whole world is trying to tell you, like, just tone it down. Tone it down.
You're not in the military anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, bitch, I'm a Marine forever. And it's like, I'm going to go run 20 miles. Right now. I'm going to put a pack on and go run 20 miles.
You know how many people have told David Goggins to slow down?
No, can I tell you guys a story, man? When I was in the Marine Corps and I was motivated and I first got in there and I'm like, yeah, let's do that. And I would love for people to comment on this who knew me. They would always tell me, that's going to die. That gung-ho Marine that you are is going to die. It never fucking did. Mm-hmm. I only became harder. It's the truth. So what I'm going to tell you guys is almost the dangerous of submitting to this fucking world. Mm-hmm.
Do not submit to it.
You got that. You got that. You got the byproduct of that. Mm-hmm. We were broke in Brazil, right? Mm-hmm. You got the product of that. Mm-hmm. And then I manned up and said, wait a minute, who the fuck am I? I'm a badass dude. And we built a life that we can't even fathom this life we built. And
here's what I want to tell for the audience who is listening to this. And you're like, well, maybe I haven't done anything incredible with my life. Who are you? You are a son and daughter of the Almighty King who owns it all, has conquered it all, is in a kingdom that is abundant. there's an immense amount of wealth in this world that God wants to put in your hand. Actually, He is already placing in your hand, but you're refusing to take it. This is who you are.
Yeah.
You were created at God's image to do God's purpose on this earth, to build and create like your creator has done. And you're supposed to dominate. Whether you're a man or a woman, you're supposed to live on this earth like you are
100%.
heir of the kingdom. So wake up.
I think about Myron Golden, the trash man to the cash man. He was what, in his 40s?
Yeah.
He was a freaking employee in his 40s. And he became, who is Myron Golden today?
Mm.
He's the great of great. He's the greatest greats. He's one of the greats.
Yeah.
So all I got to say is, what about him? Like imagine him listening to this, and he's like, "Well, I'm a trash man.
Yeah.
I'm uneducated. I don't have anything going. What do I do?" What did he do? He started investing in himself, and he started believing who he was.
Yeah.
So I love what you said.
Exactly. So this is what I would tell you, because I want to end this too with giving you guys some practical advice.
Love it.
This is what I would tell you. First of all, you need to start changing your habits. It starts with the little things that you're doing when nobody's watching. So you need to start getting up early. You need to start getting, putting your best clothes on, no matter what you do, man or woman. Become your best version of yourself. Do you need to go to the gym? Start going to the gym. It's like, come on, you cannot be overweight. You cannot be tired, fatigued. You ain't going to last on this if you're not taking care of your body.
Yeah.
Then how many books are you reading? What kind of books you should be reading? Go look up to people that inspire you and see that are successful. What books did they read? And then what kind of podcasts are you listening to? Shut off the Netflix. Netflix should be something that you watch like maybe once a week. That's what I would tell you. Maybe once a week you do like a 1 hour of something. Outside of that, you should go home every day and be listening to people who are successful and let those words wash off of you. If you're too humble, it's probably because you are not in the place that is causing you so much pain that you become a little bit cocky by the things that you've gone through. So it's like, maybe go a little bit harder. Start going hard. So you're like, you know what? I'm not going to settle for this. Turn off the freaking games. I don't get it. People who watch, I'm sorry. Like, Brian, when was the last time you watched a game?
I don't watch any sports.
So you need to start changing your habits on a daily basis. You need to start implementing habits of successful people and wealthy people.
I love this. And then I want to caveat on that. I want to continue. The next thing you do right after that is you start paying things. You take your money that you blow and you invest in a course. You invest in coaches. You invest in people that are in the direction you want to go. All the time, how many guys in my company want to be me, right? They want to go start a company, but they don't have the skills that I have and they fell. It's like, okay, so let's say you're a guy working in a lawnmower business or a pressure washing company, and you want to start a company. No. My advice to you is do not start that company. If you can't start a company on day one, you're not doing the jobs, you don't have the skills. You just bought into a job. You just become a technician now who is an employee of your own self, and you don't have a life because you're doing all the jobs, you're doing everything, and you don't know how to do none of it. And I'm going to tell you, as a successful business owner, I would never do a startup. I would buy a business that's already there. So, and that should tell you something. So learn how to be an entrepreneur. So while you have your job, invest in a course, invest in a membership, invest in coaching, and start implementing, because that's what you did, Nara. You did all those things that you said. That was the mindset shift. I think you're talking about mindset shift. And listen to even how much I've had to do before coming to America so I could show up here, speak English. I had to pay my way through to show up to a country that gave me everything that I'm living through today. Gave me my husband, gave me my daughter, gave me my skill set, gave me my business. Even that path from that young person who was 19 years old, what I had to do to step my foot into America the right way and go to an American university and work. Like, look what I've had to do even back then. It is a nonsense thing. It doesn't stop. You need to stop sacrificing, putting in the cost, because the reason why you're not seeing it is because you're not doing anything. You're not putting a cost into anything to get a reward. And don't you think the biggest difference in our life is when we paid? It was, because we tried to do a lot of things for free. And it's like, guess what you get when you try to get nothing? You don't get the premium. No. I feel like you get the filtered version. Correct. And you also don't, it's like this.
if it doesn't cost you something, you don't show up and give your best. When it costs you a lot, you're like, you know what? This cost me so much that I better make sure that I get my return on this.
Paying people pay attention.
That's it. That's what I would tell people. And do not make a vow with your poverty.
Never.
And it doesn't matter what stage of life you're in, you can change it right now.
And it's not biblical. The Bible says leave a wealth for your generations of generations. So guys, it's not even, you're not aligned with the Bible if you take a vow of poverty. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people say Jesus was poor, the disciples were poor. No, they were not. Mm-mm. Read your Bible. They were beyond not poor.
Jesus was fulfilling his mission here on earth. His mission,
which was to die.
Yes, his mission here on earth was not to build a business.
It was to die.
It was to die, to become the Lamb of God. So no wonder.
But he didn't do that poor. That's what I'm trying to tell people.
He didn't do this with a scarcity mindset. That's what I want to say. People don't understand.
He fed 10,000.
And pay attention to this. Like, God has a specific mission for each one and every single one of you. Your mission might be different from my mission. It might be different from my friend's mission. What mission has God given you? Because your mission is to die on a cross, meaning like this, to submit yourself to God. But then what do you do outside of that? Because like the Lamb already came. You're not supposed to be here and leave Jesus like if you were Jesus. You're supposed to accept Jesus in your life, die for him and leave.
You do a dishonor to his death, I think. You're slapping him in his face if you're trying to be him. It's almost like people that try to be me. It's like, I already paved the way. Why don't you just get on the ladder that I created? It's a slap in the face. Mm-hmm. So with Jesus, if you're trying to be Jesus, it's a slap. He's like, I already did it, dude. Mm-hmm. Like, go off of my foundation.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Isn't that what we're doing for our kids?
It's 100%. And if Evelyn tried to be me, it's a slap in the face.
Yeah.
It's like, honey, you don't know, like when you look at the menu on the food, you don't know that the numbers are price. Okay. So it's like, you don't need to go where I went.
Believe me.
It's like, you climb up.
Climb up.
That's it. We're going to end the podcast with climb up.
That's it. Climb up.
Climb up.
I love this. And make sure you subscribe to our channel if you have not subscribed to our channel. And if you want to join a membership, Brian can talk about it.
Yeah, we have a membership that we launched, and it's gonna pay to get in, right? This isn't a free membership. Paying people pay attention. And if you are someone out there and you want to grow a service-based company, but you don't want to be the guy doing the work, and you want to go in there and day one, which is funny because Steven, day one hasn't been in the field and he's in a successful business. It's amazing. But if you want to learn from the best, because we're the best, we dominate the service-based industry.
Let's go.
And if that's what you want to do, drop a comment down below and we'll send you a link. That's it.